I think I got it. I think I got it. Yes. Okay. Hello. Get my interwisdom card. Hold on, you guys. Switching out some decks. You would think I would have all this together? Nope. I don't be. Hello, everybody. How you guys? Happy Wednesday. Take what resonates and leave the rest. This is for my fire babies. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We're going to start off with you guys. Oh, fire signs. Hello. Welcome. Take what resonates, leave the rest. All those that wondering how the concert went last night. I must say, Post Malone was pretty good. He made Tristan happy. And that's all that matters. And I stayed sober last night. That's another thing that matters. But thinking about sober, okay? So some of my clients, you guys, I appreciate all my clients. I appreciate the life, the support, the readings, the clarity. I appreciate all that. First of all, let's get that out the way. Most of my clients are overseas. They're like far. Okay, far, far, far away. I've Googled them. I like the culture. I like talking to them. Harak language. I'm going to get more into learning that as well. That's a hard language. That beats Spanish. That overtops Spanish. In overtypes. For me, it does. Some people, they speak it fluently. Okay, so I appreciate y'all over there. Okay. So, last night we were sober, you know, and Tristan, yes, we're about to be legally on paper free, okay? So, Tristan's going to be able to get his passport. I'm so excited over that, okay? And reason why is I hate going out of town without my baby. I really do. But then I hate being limited without him as well. So, my birthday is coming up, so we were talking soberly, and we were like, So what do you want to see? So I decided, I said, you know what? This time I'm a pick. And they were like, what? So I picked a place off my bucket list. Let's go to the Red Sea. Most of my clients are over there, Iraq, Afghanistan, okay, places like that. So we started looking, okay, in Afghanistan, you know, we used to have a problem with Americans and so on and so on, I know, okay? But they're building a resort out there in the Red Sea, and I'm really excited for them. You know, no hate, I ain't got nothing to do with the political and none of that, but I am American, but I ain't got nothing to do with that, okay? So, um, we were looking, and I've always wanted to see the Red Sea, and now I'll be able to travel out the U.S. Tristan can go with me now, so I'm really excited and pumped about that. Okay, our last trip to Puerto Rico was filmed in. I took my subscribers off of TikTok, Tristan and I. Now, of course, Puerto Rico, you don't need a passport, so that was cool. But when you step into the British section, you need a passport. That limits us because Tristan doesn't have one. So we will definitely be taking that trip. We landed in St. Thomas and we rode a boat to St. John. So that was really cool. So my TikTok subscribers got to experience that with us. So I'm trying to do something outside of the U.S. The Red Sea. Beautiful water. I'm a water baby. I'm a water sign. Everybody knows. But I have a question to all my clients. Okay, over there. I got a question. Hey, Jarrell, Mississippi here. Hey, Mississippi. Okay, I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I. Hey, okay. But all my fire signs that are overseas in Iraq, Afghanistan, why is there no liquor? I just want to know. Can you answer that question for me? Why? You're a Gemini, give you the bad news. You know, everything ain't bad. I don't look at it as being bad news. I look at it as being, how they say, awareness news. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as that. And you know you in a fire sign reading, right? I'm just saying to her, you know you in a fire sign reading. I haven't done air signs yet. You know you in a fire sign reading, right? Whatever. Okay, cross watchers are definitely welcome. Maybe you got fire in your placement chart, Mercury, Venus, okay, but welcome. If you're a Gemini, welcome. You gotta be, okay, welcome anyway, baby. Anyway, I'm sure you know some fire signs. You're about to find out the tea on them, okay? I'm sure you know some fire signs. Family member, friends, partners, I'm sure you know some fire signs. But I got a question for all my clients that are over there in Afghanistan, because I got quite a bit. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know they were more into tarot reading, spiritual guidance. I did not know they were like that. Now, and it's taking me by surprise. Yeah, like it's taking me by surprise. So as I talk to them and, you know, get to know a little bit of their culture, they speak their language. I ask them to speak their language. I understand nothing they say, okay? But I ask them to speak their language, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. You know, they teach me little words. I always, if you're from another part of the world, I'm always open to learn, especially your culture. But I happened to be looking last night, soberly, of course, and I was looking, and I was like, dang, that's a long way. See, I'm here in Texas, so in order for me to get to the Red Sea, I'm going to have to take about 12 planes, 3 buses, 1 train, 12 boats, and then when you get there, you still don't land on land to get to the island, okay? Why is there no alcohol? I just want to know. I just want to know. I am dying to know. And every time that I look these places, these results up over there on the Red Sea. I notice ain't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. You know, you look at different results. You go to the Bahamas, you see different people walking around. Even if you like YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You'll see different people walking by, vacationing and stuff like that. You don't see that over there. And I'm like, holy crap. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that kind of interaction. So I don't know. That's on my bucket list. I will work hard, double hard to make that happen because that's what I want. And then, I mean, what about better way to bust Trish's passport open? You know what I'm saying? We're about to finally be legally detached this summer, and it's gonna be my birthday, so that's two celebrations at once. So you know, but I'm gonna need some alcohol. I mean, after all, when we landed in Puerto Rico, y'all, we landed in Puerto Rico. Yeah, the margaritas was doing what it was doing, but the mojitos was good. Okay, I had one. Now you on vacation. I'm with my kids, so I don't get drunk, slappy drunk. But getting off the plane, you need something. Okay, especially if you're riding with a kid that says 25 times, "Are we there yet?" It was so bad, okay, because we had to leave from Texas and we went to Miami. From Miami, then flew us over there, okay? That's Caribbeans. Flew us over there. 2 hours to Miami, 2 hours there with some middle breaks. So that was cool. But I heard about over a million times, even the people that I was live streaming with on TikTok, they were like, no, baby, we aren't there yet. Because when we got to Miami, he was like, okay, that was cool. 2 hours, he was asleep. And he was just like, okay, cool, we here. No, we're not here. We still got one more plane to catch, you know? But, yeah, you're going to hear about, and especially trying to go this far out. We're going to the Red Sea. We're going hours and hours away. You're going to hear, are we there yet, from a 4-year-old about 20 times, okay? So when you finally get there, you're gonna want a nightcap. But unfortunately, that won't happen there. So that's a deal. That's kind of like a deal breaker. I wouldn't say a deal breaker. That's kind of like I'm gonna have to wait on that one. I don't know. That one's up in the air. Look, that trip is up in the air. If some of my clients can tell me why ain't no liquor over there, and then I'll decide from there. And I'm like, ain't no people over there because ain't no liquor over there. It's kind of one of those things. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, I just thought I'd express that. So if you are a fire sign and you are one of my clients and you do live on that part of the world, which like I said, I do talk to a couple of people that will email me, inbox me, let me know why ain't no liquor over there. Okay, what's the culture behind it? Because I'm sure there's a reason. Okay, I just don't know of it. I didn't Google it, but you know, help me understand that. But fire babies, that's enough about me. Fire babies, welcome. Take what resonates and leave the rest. There's no gender and tarot. Flip it, switch it, get in where you fit in. Okay. Let's see, fire babies. What's going on? You heard enough about my riffraff. Let's see what y'all got going on. Let's see what comes out for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm going to mix y'all together today. Okay? Divine guidance for my fire babies. Okay? Peace, like, love, and share. Okay? Anything you need to know about me is in the description tab on the page. Okay? Personals are welcome. Let's see, fire babies. God, Descendant Masters, Universe, and Spirit, and Truth. Let's see. What happened? What happened to you? Now is not the time to give up or give in. And you've come so far to give up now. Okay, so, what happened to you? Thinking of giving up. Spirit. Generation curses. Rise and beyond the past and allow the cycle to end with you. Okay? Thinking of giving up, baby. You tell me ain't no liquor there, baby. I give up that real quick. Suck it up, buttercup. Okay, we all make mistakes and we can't always have our way. Now that you know that, you are, wait a minute, okay, it says, suck it up, buttercups. We all make mistakes and we can't always have the things our way. Now that you know that, what are you going to do about it? Okay, I like these cards. Okay, it be like real. Now that you know, fire signs. Let's see. Suck that up, buttercup. Fire babies, what's going on? Awakening. It's time to awake to a new day, a new you. You're no longer a caterpillar. You are the butterfly. I swear to God. They don't start calling. It's your time, okay? Rising like the phoenix. It's your time to shine and be all that you can be. Be creative, be jazzy. This is your time for your savage, okay? I like that. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's your time. What is happening? It's the first card to come out. Generation curses. I like that. Breaking them curses, baby. I'm definitely trying to break minds, okay? I am definitely, baby. They tell me go left, I make sure I go right. I make sure of it, okay? Or just decide on what I want to do. You know, it's all about living your life, living it the way you want, being free. You know, being free is a big thing. You know, I used to feel like that I was obligated to live my life the way people wanted me to. Now I don't. Okay, I don't report to nobody. That is over with. I'm so happy to be free. And you don't know what it feels like to be limited until you notice that you're limited. So I don't know. Suck it up. Maybe some of y'all feel like that y'all are limited. Okay, it's the reason why I talked about Tristan's passport. You know, it's time for us to move around outside of what we know, outside of our culture, outside the U.S., food, culture, language, you know, and I feel like my baby needs that opportunity. So I'm trying to open him up to that great diversity because I was never closed as a child. I've lived 9 different states, 2 different countries. So I was never closed off as a child, you know, even though when I did move around, it was under disappointing, how they say, circumstances. But that's not him. And that might be generation curse, okay? You know, breaking those generation bonds, curses, you know, in your life, getting that awakening. It's time for a new day. It's time for a new you. Okay, that's a quick Scorpio energy transformation, doing things different, being like-minded. Okay, dealing with the diversity and overcoming it by sucking it up, buttercup. Okay, suck that shit up. And I know it's hard to say because some people go through some things, but suck that shit up. Okay. It's joy in the morning. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what Spirit wants to say with the tarot. Okay. 5 of Cups. Some of y'all are disappointed behind something. Chariots, okay? But you're still pushing forward. Chariot is battling the shadow with the light. You know, some of y'all are disappointed behind some things. 6 of Pentacles. No equal give and take. And it's not even equal give and take. Sometimes you can't do what you need to do. Sometimes the finances won't let you do what you need to do. And sometimes, like me, disappointment, that ain't no alcohol up there. So, I mean, it's not all about alcohol, obviously. That's why I said, you know, maybe I need to do some more research, okay? And that's where the awakening comes in. I use that for example because that's lightly. That's something that relates to me. When I do my tarot, I do learn as well, regardless of what sign. We got all the signs in our chart, just depends on where they're placed. I know I have fire highly aspected in some of my main places. So, it's an awakening. King of Pentacles, okay? With the 9 of Pentacles energy, some of y'all are single, okay? Or about to be single or doing things by yourself, having an awakening by yourself, transformating by yourself, okay? But pushing forward with the Chariot, okay? You may have to give something to get something, okay? You may have to make something balanced. Maybe you have Libra in your chart as well. Okay, highly expect. I keep looking at maybe it's legals, maybe it's partnership, Maybe, you know, somebody either breadcrumbed you out of this situation. I can see it two different situations about this, okay? But suck it up, buttercup, okay? It's gonna be all right. Joy comes in the morning. What happened, okay? Maybe some of y'all are trying to figure out what happened. What did you end? Where did it begin? Where did it go? What I did wrong? What did they do wrong? You know, but I always start with me, and that's how I change. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's how I change. That's how I get the awakening that I get. Because I start with me. It's best to start with you. Take accountability of some of the stuff that you do, and it will clear out some of the, how they say, the decisions on other people. Because you are in control of your life. Know that. Always know that. Okay? Can't nobody make you do anything. You are in control. Emperor energy, Aries energy. Okay? Leadership. Okay? Father figure. May have kids, may not have kids. May have a boss, may not be a boss. May run a company. I just said leadership. Nine of Pentacles energy. Okay, so some of y'all are single. Some of y'all are dealing with a Gemini or could be dealing with a Gemini. Or some of y'all need to communicate something and heal. Star energy, Aquarius energy. Okay, you, them, they, or us. Six of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Emperor sitting right here on the Nine of Pentacles. Maybe you have to do something by yourself. Breaking generation curses are not easy. They're not easy. They really not. You get crucified, crucifixed, you get talked about, you get all kinds of stuff because you do things a little bit different. But suck it up. Everybody has a comment about everything. Those are those nosy people that feel like that you have to be accountable to do things their way. Necessary. You do things that's comfortable for you. Okay. Star energy. Yep. Sudden change will come with an awakening. Maybe you had a sudden change, a blessing that occurred. It don't necessarily have to be money. My blessing is now that me and my child are free to Christopher Columbus the world. We're able to, and how they say, open our horizons, learn different diversities, learn different cultures. To me, that's a blessing, okay? Because everybody can't do that. You know, I was stuck for a while not being able to do that due to not wanting to leave my child and my child not having a passport. So now that can happen with the Eight of Cups and the Sun, okay? Things happen. Spirit happen, okay, to where you are adjust. You're not no longer, how they say, stuck in that mind frame. You know, I always talk to people about churches and covenants. Religions and politics is what I don't get into, but I always tell my baby, you are free to, how they say, pray any way you choose. Don't let nobody force you into a certain kind of way of praying. Don't let nobody force you into a certain kind of way of living. Don't let you be the leader, Emperor energy, first of all, and everybody else will fall in suit. But don't let nobody force you. When I was growing up, I was forced to pray a certain way. I come from a Pentecostal background. You had a lot of rules and all that kind of stuff. Well, as I grew up, I noticed that's not what I wanted to do. So, with that being said, I open a doorway, generation curse, for my son to pick and choose. Now, one thing I cannot allow him to be is atheist. Nothing against my atheist people, but no, you're going to have to believe in something so you won't fall for anything. Okay? Period. Okay? Page of Cup. Okay? Opportunities that are coming your way. With the moon, some of y'all with Gemini energy has definitely been trapped. Been keeping it to yourself, holding secrets back, holding your path back, holding yourself back. You feel like you're limited. Why? Okay, can deal with stability, Four of Wands, with the Wheel of Fortune. Some of y'all feel like y'all are limited. Why? With the Temperance in the World. Okay, this could be, maybe you feel like you're limited to the world. Well, shoot, I did for one moment. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I was like, dang, how it feels like, especially when we went over there in the Caribbean and we couldn't go to the British colony. We was on vacation. I really wanted to go there. They had the tunnels and stuff like that, and I wanted to experience that. Fortunately, we're gonna go back to the passport. My baby didn't have a passport, so we couldn't go there. Now we're not limited, okay? I'm just using it for example that I experienced. Just not being able to do something, that's a real hard feeling. Empress energy, okay? You have clarity You have things coming to you. You're healing. Okay. The disappointment is no more. You've been through a lot of stuff. Ten of Pentacles. You're going through your highest height. Reaches. Some of y'all are getting paid. Okay. Or are doing a payout. That could be spiritually paid or financially paid. Court system situation. Two of Swords. You're not going to see. It's going to take action. Seven of Swords. Strategically, some of y'all deal with relationships that have held you back, okay? Yeah. By a traditional aspect. It says generation curses. That's touchy. Like I said, I don't do religion, but I do know people do be in religious cult situations. You know what I'm saying? They do exist. I know one right now. They do exist, okay? But at the end of the day, you know, hey, to each his own. You kind of block that situation out of your situation. I don't do it. My child ain't going to do it. And if he's away from me, he's going to stand up for that. We don't do it. But hey, if you like doing that, you like being in a cult, you like being in a group, you like being told what to do, you like that. If each is on, okay? However that works for you, fine. Me, we live a free spirit life. We make our own choices. We do what we like. As long as we love and enlighten everybody and then balance our emotions, not breaking the law of the world, I think we're able to push forward. And I like that. You know, pushing forward, whatever that keeps you above, how they say, limit. But that doesn't mean you always have to go with the generation, okay? That don't mean you got to be a follower. I'm known to be a rebel. I do not follow anybody. I do what I like to do when I like to do it. And my no's are my no's and my yeses are my yeses. And I'm sure with the Fool, we're starting back at prime zero after taking that harsh ending, whether this is in relationship, finances, situationship, whatever this is, fire signs, after taking a harsh ending, there's a new beginning. The Fool is the zero. That's the beginning of the arcana, and that's my favorite one, along with the Five of Cups, because the Five of Cups, it's like all this disappointing in front of you, but nobody looks at the two cups behind you, okay? I like to look at the two cups behind me. It looks much better than them three wasted cups in the front, okay? And what I mean about that, you see how he's all disappointed in them three cups right there? But he not looking at the cups. See, I turn around and look at them cups. And I'm going to suggest you to look at those cups. Those cups are going to give you an awakening, okay? Suck it up, buttercup, okay? When you suck it up, it's going to give you an awakening. When, for example, when we couldn't go over there, that made me put the pedal to the metal to hurry up and get this paperwork, get this divorce fight. I was like, okay, as soon as I go over there, I'm contacting the lawyer. And I did. I did. And it wasn't even my lawyer. I was like, look, let's get this going because I feel like I'm held back. I feel like I can't push forward because we can't get baby's password and we can't go do what we want to do. I don't like being controlled. I don't like that feeling. I don't like limitations. I think I work very hard. Okay, I run 3 platforms and it is very hard dealing with customers. It's very hard. The most hardest thing I would say doing this is the time zones. Okay, so normally where we are asleep, they're awake. The time zone. I got to get used to the time zones. That's about the hardest thing, but it's a lack of sleep. You're up at 3 a.m. in the morning doing a personal reading. They're just waking up, you know? But I think that's the hardest thing, okay, about doing this. And is it a challenge for me? Yes. Because I have to sleep and then I have to wake up and then I have to sleep. And like I said, most of my clients are in a different time zone than I have, okay? And for some reason, they found me on my time zone, but they live in a different time zone. They work in a different time zone. There's something different about their time zone, 9 times out of 10. But like I say, that's for me to deal with, me being the owner, overcoming those obstacles, you know, and pushing forward. Them giving them the service to the best of my ability, whether I'm sleepy, tired, didn't get no sleep, dealt with Tristan or not. It's my job. And I plan on doing my job to the fullest. And that's the 10 of Pentacles. The 10. You may be seeing 10, 10. Okay. 7, 7, 4, 4, 4, 41, 41, 31, 31, 46, 46. Okay. You even may be seeing 7, 7, 7, 0707. Those are angel numbers. Those are almonds. Okay, if you want to push pause and rewind this and go back and look what those up or where they may stand in your life. Okay, that would be good. Okay. You got options. Okay, and I rather discover these options. You have options. Okay. Nine of Cups of fulfillment. You just got to look at things a different way. So once I was rejected from that point, I did 2 cups. I looked at those 2 cups. Okay, so what can I do to help get over this obstacle? I can go ahead and get this paperwork done and try to be the best um accurate signing everything and getting everything done so we can go on with our lives. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with you. With the Three of Pentacles, some of y'all are definitely going to collaborate with people, that you want to collaborate, do things. I always use experiences as good teachers. I've had more disappointing obstacles than that, but that's the only one that I can see I've taken lately. Being able to travel and having, how they say, draw the line because one of us ain't got a passport. Well, that's what I got for my fire babies. Bye.